HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the most widely used language to write web pages. Hypertext refers to the way in which web pages, in this case HTML documents, are linked together. Thus, the link available on a web page are called hypertext. As its name suggests, HTML is a markup language, which means you use HTML to simply mark up a text document with tags that tell a web browser how to structure it to display. For example, the P is the starting tag of the paragraph, while the /P is the closing tag of the same paragraph. So if you have a sentence between the opening P and the closing P, this is regarded as the paragraph element. So I'm going to illustrate the concept of markup language and hypertext in relation to HTML. To do this, I have a text document here that has my text. The text is the HTML overview with about 3 paragraphs, and of course the concluding part that has a single paragraph. This is a text document. Now, if I want to save this on a web page or send it across the internet, this text document has to be converted to a web file. So how do I do that? So I'll go to File and I'll click on Save As. Then here, under Save As type, I'll set all files. Then under file name, I'll type html.html. The file extension for HTML web pages must have an extension HTML. So if I do this and click OK, then I will now have on my folder the text document, which is HTML, and the web file, which is also having the same name, HTML. You can see the symbol separates the two of them. Now notice one thing. If I double click to open the text document, I will see the content of the file that I had built. But if I open it, double click to open it the way it is now on HTML, what you notice is that the files will all be mixed together. This is what you find. The entire content of the file will be mixed together. It's not readable, it's difficult to read, the paragraphs are not showing, the entire thing is mixed up. So what this means is that you cannot just pick up the HTML, the content of your text document the way it is and send it online as a web page. You know, it has to be formatted, it has to be properly tagged, it has to be structured in such a way that it will be easier for the browser to interpret it and to present it the way you want it. So in order to make this document appear the way the original text document was, we need to tag the different section of the document. We need to tag it appropriately so that it will come out right. So how do we do that? So we right click on HTML and we use any of the text editor. In this case, I'm going to use Notepad++ to edit on this document. Now, even though it shows what is supposed to be the format of the document, of course, you notice that when we ran it, the whole thing was mixed up. So we have to introduce the tags. This is really what the markup part of HTML does. It structures the entire text document in such a way that the browser will be able to understand and to display in the way that you want it. So I can decide to make all this one paragraph. So what I'll do is to introduce the paragraph tag, and I'll also end it with the paragraph tag. So I'll go to the last line and end it with the paragraph tag. Then in between, I will employ my breaking tags. So what I will tell the browser to do here is that, look, anytime you get to the end of this document, anytime you see the break tag, I want you to move whatever text follows to the next line. So I'll just press this on each of these lines, and that's all. That's basically all what I need to do. So I have my paragraph, opening and closing paragraph, and I have my break tags in between. So I can save this. Then if I run this again, what you will notice is that instead of the entire thing being mixed up together, the system will open in the browser will interpret it and it will structure it just the way I want it. So you can see everything is well arranged now. Now you can see that I have my normal paragraphs, they are not just mixed up together and it's coming out well. So furthermore, I could also decide to, I want to also show you how to create the hypertext. Hypertext is a link that makes it possible for several web pages to be grouped together. So we can just like opening different pages in a book, you can use the link to access other web pages. So I'm going to break this single document into two. So this was the original thing that I had. I had this single document. I have the HTML overview with the conclusion. So I'm going to create another text document that will contain this conclusion alone. So I will copy this and I will paste it. Then I will rename this to conclusion. Then I will now open here. Then I'll take all this off. So what I'm simply trying to do here is that what I've done here is then I'll go to the original document again. I'll go to the original document. Then I'll now remove conclusion. So what I want to do is I want a case in which whenever someone opens the HTML document, for instance, you will read through the entire HTML overview. Then a link will be created here in which the conclusion link will be created here in which you can click on it to open to another document called conclusion to read the concluding part of that document. That's exactly what I want to achieve here. So now how am I going to do this? So first of all, let's delete this off. So the first thing I'm going to do will be again to convert this to HTML file. So I'll go to file, I'll click on save as, then I'll change this to HTML document. So this will be HTML.html. So I have my web file here. Again, if I open it, you notice that everything is mixed up. So I need to edit this to put in the appropriate tags. I will edit this to put in the appropriate tags. Again, I'm going to use the paragraph tag here. Then I'm going to end this with the paragraph tag. Then here, I'm going to put in the break, the line break. So I'll paste this. So this one we have. Then I'll save this. So now, if I run this again, this is coming out well. So now, again, don't forget I said I want to have a conclusion. So I want to have a conclusion link here, in which if anybody clicks on it, you open to the conclusion .html file. So the first thing is, so I'll save this for now. I'll come back to it. I'll come back to create the hypertext, which will link it to the conclusion file. Here, I need to create my conclusion page from this conclusion text document. So I'll just double click on this. Then I'll go to file. I'll go to save as. Then here, I'll say all files. Then I'll say conclusion.html. So I have that. So here again, so I have conclusion.html. So I'll right click on it and edit this document. So I'll just put in the appropriate tag again. This is going to be my paragraph tag, and my breaking tag will come here. Don't forget what the breaking tag does is it sends all the text that follows to the next line. Then I'll end this with my last conclusion paragraph. So that's done. So now again, so if I return back to my HTML document, I'll just right click it. So I'll use what is called the anchor tab to create the hyperlink that will link this document to the conclusion .html page. So how do you do that? So you open here, type href reference equal to, put this on quote, then you put the closing tag, then here you close the anchor tab. Here I will now reference it to the document that I've been trying to, that I created, conclusion.html. That's how you link it. So now if I save this and tell the system to run this, This is what you're going to see. So it shows the main text, then it now shows this hyperlink. So if I click on the conclusion, it opens to the conclusion tab. So I can read through my document, then I can click here to read through the conclusion of my document. Thank you.